You can't say you haven't seen TJR pumping all over your newsfeed. But what if I was to tell you that I copied his shit and made $20,000 a month and you can do it as well? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I ripped that bitch, ran up a bag, and how you can replicate this shit. And what if I was to tell you that I copied his method and within 6 months, I made $20,000 a month without day trading, without staring at candles like a fucking... No, there's nothing wrong with day trading. It just isn't for me. But we all know this bloke, $3.5 million car, acts like a full degenerate on Instagram, on social media. We all know him for his hard R's, you're dropping the N-word and that. He's everywhere. I pretty much copied his method. And within 6 months, I went from working as a scaffolder in shutdowns, this is me pumping a 16-hour shift, to then hitting $24,000 a month. Here's my Stripe account, STOLE, sorry, my PayPal, right? So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down TJR's method, how I stole it and printed cash, and how you can actually replicate this shit because it's not as far out of reach as it seems. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the limiting beliefs that you need to be breaking in order to get to where you want to be. His whole cash printing method as to how he prints 7 figures in a fucking month, not just by day trading, how I stole it, as well as how you get a piece of the pie. Now, before I get into all of the nitty gritty, I need you to understand a few things, brother. Too many times I come across so many people, even when I used to be a scaffy, right? I've done it all. I was a scaffolder for 7 years. And the life that you want to live and the places that you want to go and the person that you want to become isn't as far out of reach as it seems, bro. You just make it difficult for yourself. You have self-limiting beliefs that hold you back from becoming the person that you want to become. And I'm here to change that because I have done that. I know what it's like to work 12-hour shifts. This is me as a scaffy pumping in a chain. Although I loved it, I knew that it wasn't for me long term. This is me after I'd done a 16-hour shift because there was a safety thing. 16 hours as a scaffolder in a harness, in a hole. I've been there, done that. Locking on with a red lock. All you FIFO boys know what I'm talking about. This is me at a coal mine. Iron mine in South Australia. I'm covered in black. I thought it was coal. But this is me at an iron mine in the middle of South Australia. I did 4 weeks on, 1 week off. If you don't know what FIFO is and what rosters are, I would go to the middle of nowhere in Australia, work on a mine site for 4 weeks straight for 12 hours a day, 1 day off in the middle. And I was making decent money compared to the Australian economy right now. But the reason why I share this is because I know what this feels like, because I have been there. And I know what it feels like to know that you're meant for more. You see all of these people, opportunities, and this different reality to what you're living in, and you want a piece of it. You know that you can work hard. You know that you have that work ethic there, but it's just about where you place it. And I'm here to bridge the gap and help you break your limiting beliefs that is holding you back, okay? So first of all, you need to reframe your way of thinking when it comes to making money, living the life that you're supposed to live, ultimately becoming the best version of you. There's me chucking up a fucking seeker. Lugging 3 boards on the scaff. But this is your problem. You're constantly procrastinating, scrolling and gossiping about other people succeeding, right? It doesn't get you to where you want to be. Your limiting beliefs of I'll start next month, it's not really for me, or I'll see what my missus thinks, I don't want to put my money anywhere, is a cop-out and you know it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. I'm sorry to say, but too many times I hear, oh, do I have to put money here, money there? And I'm not talking in terms of education or knowledge. No matter what it is that you want to do, you're going to have to invest one of 3 things. And I always stand on this principle. You're always going to have to invest one of 3 things in order to get what you want. It's either going to be an investment of your time, investment of your energy, or an investment of currency. Now, think of the one thing that you can consistently get back. Energy, maybe, but more so, money. No matter what it is that you want to do, starting a business, which is not what we really want to do in the start, it's going to require capital. You're going to have to put your money where your mouth is. But these are all you just holding yourself back from becoming the person that you're supposed to become, bro. You know it. I know it. Stop fucking lying to yourself. Just pick up your nuts and have a go, okay? I might sound rude, but I'm just going to speak as to how it is, bro. When I had to jump from this guy here to then making $24,000 a month, it wasn't by some secret magic pill. It wasn't by, oh, I just had a lucky pick of the draw. It wasn't by, oh, I was fucking funded by my parents. It literally just come from asking myself this exact question, which I need you to ask yourself right now. Ask yourself, what have you genuinely achieved this year? Genuinely. Then ask yourself, if I continue doing this shit, what's the next couple of years going to look like? If that doesn't scare you enough to do something about this shit now, your bloodline right there, bruh. The last name, finito, cuz. Sorry to be rude about it, But you need to understand the reality of it. You see, I've made good money in the mining industry. I had nothing wrong with the mining industry. I have nothing against it. If anything, always view it as a stepping stone to becoming the person who I am now. I met good boys. I worked with gun crews. When I was working away, I met brothers that I still call brothers today and I still speak with, that I'm very close with, right? Formed really good relationships, made really good money compared to what I was making in the past. But I always knew for myself, growing up with a single mum who raised 3 kids on her own, my dad wasn't around, I can't continue to just make a bit of money and not be present, keep it to myself and become this selfish person. I know I need to look after my mum. I know that I need to have freedom so that I can be a present father. These are things that I have to tick off. And it scared me so fucking much, the thought of repeating what my fucking dad did, not trying to trauma the brother, but it scared me so fucking much that I knew that I had to do whatever it fucking took in order to get to where I wanted to be. And it was one simple thing: accepting change, taking action, doing what's required. You want the magic pill, you want the magic blueprint, you want to go through another 500 YouTube videos like mine and probably 500 other gurus on the internet. You're looking for the wrong thing, bro. If you continue to go down this path, the way that you've gone down it, and you're not where you want to be, or you're not close to where you want to be, you have to fucking genuinely sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is it going to look like in the next couple of years? And what do I need to do? And look, I might sound harsh. I might come across a little bit of a prick. But one thing I stand on is standing on integrity and speaking with integrity, because that's what I believe is the most important part to this game. I'm going to speak how I speak, and I'm going to say it how it is. And the reason being is, back when I was this bloke, there was no one that I related to on the internet. There was nobody who I seen as a scappy or a five worker get to a position that I wanted to be in, tell me what he did to get there. And I know a lot of you boys are in that similar path. And the reason why I post content, the reason why I speak with integrity, is because of that exact reason. When I started out, it wasn't this simple. Now that I figured out a way, I'm putting you on game. And so what I speak is facts. I speak with integrity. And the intention behind what I say is because this is shit that you need to hear, you need to understand, and you need to take action with what is in front of you. Now we're going to start diving deep into TJR's info product method. Now we all know TJR, right? He bought a $3.5 million Koenigsegg Regera, or Jesco, I don't even know what it was, at 23 years old. Printing, brother. $3.5 million car. Constantly dropping rage bait. I don't know about you, but he's always dropping the N-word. He's always doing some real outlandish shit. It seems like he's everywhere you go, but this is his method. TJR makes over 7 figures a month aside from the trading, and I'm going to show you how he does it and how I pretty much copied it. Right, so you probably have seen him for a whole bunch of different reasons. I've seen him for a whole bunch of different reasons, but he lives the lifestyle, right? $150,000 weekend in London. And how does he do this? Through his, what we call, vehicle, which was day trading or trading stocks, whatever you want to call it. TJR grabs your attention from his content. He posts desire-based content, which is the lifestyle, the cars, the watches, all of the cool shit that he does that we aspire to do. That is what you call desire-based content. He then posts valuable content, education about his vehicle. He posts content and how-tos, tips and tricks, courses, guides, where he has the boot camp, which shows you how to trade, which is his free pipeline of a course that teaches you exactly how we got to where he is now, for free. Storytelling and identity content, where he shares his stories that relate to people like you and myself. You know, I've seen videos of him talking about his struggles when he was a Uber Eats driver, stealing food and shit. This is the content that builds a connection with his audience, us, where we go, oh, fuck, I see myself in this bloke. He's relatable to me. He's not on a different pedestal. He was once like me. The most important key factor into his whole mechanism is his personality. All of his rage bait shit, his outlandish shit, all the shit that genuinely grabs our attention. And right, all of this works as an ecosystem. He puts his money where his fucking mouth is. If you don't know by now, TJR understands that the content game is on a whole nother level. The reason why he prints 7 figures a month is because he puts his money where his mouth is. He pays people, doesn't matter your background, your skill set, he will pay you to clip up his long form content and make sub accounts where he has hundreds. I couldn't even keep track, but it's when I type TJR on TikTok, right? It gives me hundreds of sub accounts just constantly posting his shit, generating millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of views. This bloke understands where the money is at, and that is content. But all of this has intention and a purpose behind it all. This right here is what we call in business a funnel. If you don't understand what a funnel is, bro, it's pretty much how you can convert nobody to a customer or getting somebody's attention and converting that into cash. A funnel is a simple process that we use in business, because I know I didn't understand what that fucking word was a long time ago, but I'm about to explain to you how it works, right? So at the top of his funnel, the intention is to get in front of your face. All of his rage bait shit, the Java clips, all of the $150,000 weekend in London type shit, right? 290,000 views. All of this is to cast a wide net and to get eyeballs on his personal brand and to get you into his ecosystem. In the middle of funnel, once you're in his ecosystem, the intention is to show proof of concept, lifestyle, etc. Koenigsegg. And also building a relationship with his audience. Sharing stories about when he was broke and shit. Shit that we all can fucking relate to. Me growing and shit. At the bottom of funnel, once you're in his ecosystem long enough, you've seen him have the lifestyle, and he has the lifestyle that you want to live. You desire to become that. Then you see proof of concept, or him building a connection with yourself because he shares stories that relate to you. At the bottom of it all, you're wondering, how does he do it? How did he get there? I want to get there. How do I do what he did? And at the bottom of his funnel, he does exactly that. He educates on his vehicle that lets him live the lifestyle that he does and that we all desire, which is where he plugs in his bootcamp. He'll also show live trading, showing proof of concept that says, no, he knows what the fuck he's talking about. And you can go through his bootcamp and you should be able to get results, and he'll teach you that skill for free. But at the bottom of it all, what do you know? TJR's the blueprint. All of this leads to his high ticket digital product, aka his mentorship. To give you a bit of context, all of his content, all of his rage bait shit, everything that he does, he has systems, teams, everything in place to go to this baby right here. I know that he does 7 figures a month with this. 7 figures. Yes, he makes a shit ton of money trading. I'm not shitting on him at all. I personally couldn't really do trading. I don't want to fucking stare at candlesticks all day and gamble. That's how I view it. I've always viewed it as that, but make 7 figures a month off of his mentorship, the blueprint. And you see, this is why in business, a funnel is so important. But in hindsight, all the TJR did was learn a valuable high income skill, post content, sells digital products teaching that same skill, and he prints 7 figures a month. When you look at it through that lens, it is not as difficult and as far out of reach as it seems. TJR's process has been for fucking years. I've watched the guy for years, but it's genuinely not that far out of reach. Now I know what you're thinking, bro, 7 figures a month, it's not that realistic. Oh, that could never be me. Shush. Stop having these limiting beliefs, brother. It's not going to get you anywhere. I'm about to break it down to you as to how I somewhat stole his method and within 6 months, got some decent results, okay? So how did I steal this method, right? First of all, I learned a high income skill, which was sales. To give you a bit of context, if you don't know about me already, I have tried like a couple of different businesses in the past, and I fucking flopped at all of them, bro. I sold sneakers as a reseller in a really good market. I fucked it. I've tried dropshipping with my brother. Fucked it. Tried low ticket affiliate marketing. Fucked it. I've tried a lot. And it's never the business model's fault. I will never put blame or put shame to them. If you want to be a dropshipper, fucking go hard, cuz. It's just not for me. But what I've learned is that all of these businesses and business models are literally just an accumulation of your skills and then providing value to the marketplace. For instance, if you wanted to become an e-commerce store owner, you wanted to sell something on Shopify, you have to understand the psychology behind sales, why people buy, how to build urgency for people to buy. More than anything, you have to understand marketing. E-commerce is all about marketing, getting attention. And that is not something that you learn in a couple of days, bro. That is a genuine skill. And that is why there are marketing agencies that do that for e-commerce store owners. So when I say you need to learn a high income skill, is because instead of starting the business, instead of worrying about what business to start and where to make money, you don't even understand how to fucking take money. You don't understand the psychology behind sales, the understanding of a transaction where you take money in transaction for value. So like I said, why do we need to learn sales? You need to understand sales is everywhere. It's a skill that's required in every business, every model, and in your day-to-day life. You need to understand the psychology behind taking money off of people. And it sounds fucking brutal, but this is how it is. You don't create money out of fucking thin air, bro. It's always a transaction and exchange of value behind it. Psychology. Now, when I say you need to learn how to take money off of people, I don't mean it in a bad way, but that is literally the world of business. You provide value in transaction, you take money, and it's exchange of value, but you don't know how to fucking do it. Understanding how to sell is your foundation, a skill that is with you forever, and it's necessary everywhere. Trying to start a business, like running it up on your own, is like building a skyrise building, bro. But without the right foundation, you're never going to even build the first fucking floor because you built the fucking bottom out of paddle pop sticks. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? To give you a bit of context, I myself have personally failed at 4 different businesses. and opportunities. But it wasn't because of the business. It's because it didn't have the right foundations, bro. No matter the product, no matter the service, no matter what you're going to sell, you expect to make money if you don't have the skills to get attention and then convert that attention into fucking cash, because that's all business is. No matter what business you pick, if you're going to have a scaffolding company, a labor hire company, a construction company, a marketing agency, all of business is, here's my product and service, look at me, buy it off me. But if you can't get cunts to fucking look at you and you can't get attention on you, how are people going to buy it? That's why I preach sales and marketing. That's why I preach sales and content, because every business needs it. You become valuable in a marketplace, in any marketplace, and you can make money based off of the value that you provide rather than trading your fucking time for money like we all are used to, which I know is not what you want. So I tried all of this on my own whilst working shutdowns on asset plants. So after about 4 months of getting nowhere, I decided shit had to change. Then I picked up my nuts. I invested into a mentor, learned how to book calls as an appointment setter, as well as turned up to daily coaching calls on learning how to close deals, which is what I knew I needed. I knew I needed to learn the psychology and the art of sales. 2 months since starting, I landed a role as an appointment setter for a fitness coach who was actually a friend of mine. I pitched him the idea whilst I was still training. Made my first bit of coin, quit my job, back against the wall, started posting content as well, started taking sales calls, and scaled to $24,000 a month in 6 months total, after 6 months. I've had a genuine impact on countless boys who are in a similar position to what I was in. I look after my boys, I look after my people, I look after my family. I'm doing my fucking job, okay? That's all that you need to hear from me. I don't like to blabber on too much about me. But this is what you need to understand. You are spending so much time figuring out the next best model to make money online. What you fail to understand is it's never about the model, but it's about the skill that you have and making money from that. I literally started as an appointment setter. I learned how to close deals. Then I started posting content, helping others. Then ended up becoming a full-time mad cunt that I am. Love it or hate it, it's just the way it is, bro. And I don't say any of this to post and brag and shit. I say this with full-fledged confidence because I know that you are meant for more. And I wish, like, I constantly burn at the fact of, I'm 25 now, since I was 19, all I ever wanted was to live a different reality, become a better version of me, look after my people. But back then, it was since I was 19, no one did this shit. No one put out game like how I put game out. And that's why I do this shit. Not to brag, not to try and be a mad cunt. You get what I'm saying. How do you print cash? How do you get a piece of this pie? When you look back at his funnel, you probably think to yourself, oh fuck, I have to post content. I have to have 500 million views. I have to act like a fucking vegetable. I have to do all this outlandish shit. No. I want you to understand this one thing. Okay, you make money based on the value that you provide, and you need to learn a high income skill. And I'm about to break it down for you. When we see TJR's blueprint, it's like a well-oiled fucking machine. It's an ecosystem. This cunt knows what he's fucking doing. Behind the fucking scenes, what you don't see is all of the teams that keep the bitch up, that print him the fucking cash. In his blueprint method, in his whole ecosystem, he has a sales team. Now, the sales team is in control of converting attention to cash. He has appointment setters. He has remote closers for his high ticket offer. He has a content team that gets mass attention with clippers. You know, people making go viral, multiple accounts spread across all social media platforms. He has a fulfillment team, which handles the back end, you know, all of the nitty gritty shit. In business, we call it back end. This is like systems, SOPs, softwares, boring shit. Okay. We want to look at that. It's for nerds. Then he has like his manager, which is making sure that the whole ecosystem runs smooth. But this is what he has behind closed scenes. He's not doing all of this shit, bro. This cunt's making content, filming content. He's not doing all of this nonsense, right? But when you go onto TJR as a blueprint, when you click get started, what do you see? Motherfucking opt-in. What does this mean though? After all of this, you've gone through his shit. You know that this is paid. You know his mentorship, you're going to have to put money down. The people that go through this entire fucking funnel are full-blown fanboys. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's a fucking gangster method, but they know that they're going to have to put down some cash, and they know that once they put down the money, they are going to get an extreme exchange in value. They know that the money is going to be an ROI that is unfathomable, because all of the free shit was so valuable. They probably made a few couple bucks. They probably got a funded account. They probably got somewhere, and they're like, okay, if the free shit's that good, the fucking paid shit's going to be way better. So when he has this opt-in page, what does this mean? Once you put in your details, you will then put onto an appointment setter who works in his sales team. Then you get on a call with a closer, right? All of these people that token his content have already gone through all of his free shit, got so much value, probably got results. They know it's going to be worthwhile investment. So they pay up without any of this shit. But the thing is, you don't have to do what the vegetable does. He's not a vegetable, I'm not going to say that. But you don't have to do what this bloke does. I make Java's videos. This shit was cracker, by the way. You can literally do the both of these and print fucking cash without starting the business. You can do these in fucking print without posting content, without being a degenerate, without building a business, an ecosystem, a full-fledged fucking monopoly like TJR has built. Now, let's say his mentorship is 4K. I don't know whether it's between 3 or 5. I think Brez Scales is 5. But the appointment setter takes 5%, which is 200 USD. Closer takes 10, which is 400 USD. That's on average. Now, mind you, the closer only has to take a 20 to 40 minute Zoom call with these people who are already keen to buy. They're already sold on TJR. They know it's going to cost money. They're ready to fucking go. 20 to 40 minute phone call. You can choose the hours in your day and you can literally do it from wherever. You have the opportunity to make $400 in that hour, less than an hour, from people who are already keen to buy. You need to understand, making money online isn't about the next fucking business. You're not going to be spending money on ads. You're not going to be spending money on software. You're not going to be spending money on a shitty product. You don't put your money anywhere. You're literally just a middleman between the digital product and the person who's already fucking keen. And you just go, give me your bank details. That's it. You print cash, all commissions, not revenue. And if you think that I'm talking out of my fucking ass, when I said before that I've helped a lot of boys, let me show you the proof of concept. You can check this out on my channel. But this here is Will. Will and I come from the same area. Will resonated to myself. You know, we grew up around the same way. He literally went from doing 12-hour days, 7 days a week, running his own trade business, to then moving to Dubai, making 5.5K in a week as a remote closer. Now he's pumping it. As you can see here, I made this ages ago. This is me, my brother Isaac, my bro James, and my bro Will. We're all sitting there talking about how we're going to get to 10K a month. You can go and watch this for yourself. Another one of the boys, James, very close friend of mine now. From night shift at airports to making $4,000 in a week as a remote closer. Now he's in the room with a couple other people due to me posting content and getting introduced to some people, but he's from Sydney and now we get to move on to bigger and better. Neither of these guys post content. Neither of these guys are like a degenerate like TJR. They literally print cash by closing deals, all from one skill. Another one of the boys, Joel, who within 4 weeks of learning one skill, which was appointment setting, 4 weeks, mind you, went from working with excavators to then making $650 in a day as an appointment setter. 4 weeks it fucking took him. A lot of people want to leave their job because their job might be shit. I understand what that feels like. But Joel come to me and he said, listen, bro, I need freedom so I can work on this clothing brand that I'm trying to run up. So done. Whatever you need, I gotcha. He learned the skills so that he can make money from wherever, so that he had the freedom to work on what he wanted to. Now the clothing brand that he's running up is pumping. And I get to help him with his content and his marketing, which is fucking hectic. I enjoy this shit. But last but not least, Callum, who isn't a student of mine, isn't a client of mine, but we've worked alongside each other for a very long time. And Callum traveled to Europe after hitting $40,000 a month without content, all from sales. What Callum does, to give you a bit of context, is TJR is the blueprint. He has a sales team. Callum worked his way from an appointment setter to a closer, to then managing a team, making more money. All the cash that was coming in, he was getting a bigger chunk. Now he's built systems and processes and delegated everything where he can manage multiple sales teams and collect cash from a bunch of different businesses because he understands the process. One fucking skill got into $40,000 a month. Now, obviously, all of these boys, myself and Callum included, invested into ourselves, invested into a mentor, into coaching, so that we could get to where we are today. And if you want the same opportunity to see if that they can help, I'll leave a link in the description below to book a call with our team to see if it's a good fit. But aside from that, if you want to run it up on your own, bruh, I'm not going to fucking stop you. I want you to be able to get it. I'll also be leaving a link in the description as to my full remote closing course, as well as my appointment setting course that'll teach you everything from A to Z, giving you as much game as I can. Take it as you will. But look, I hope that you find this valuable. I hope that you can walk away from this, take action, like I said at the beginning of this video, and actually progress with something rather than sitting down, doom scrolling all fucking day and complaining about the shit that's going on. That's all from me. Leave a comment in the description if you found this valuable or what you want to see on the next one, and I'll catch you all on the next one.